Hey there. Today I want to reach out to the left side, the liberals, my friends. And I'm not doing this because I think that I'm going to convert anybody over to MAGA or make them a Republican or even get them to like Trump. I understand where their minds are at, and I'm okay with that. And they have every right to feel the way they do. So what I want to do, though, is I want to ask why you support the party itself. So I want to speak on the Democratic Party, not so much the supporters. The supporters, I believe, are brainwashed and fooled, and I'm really wondering why, and I'm going to tell you why I think that it's such an odd thing. So when this is over, I'm not looking for answers from you guys, comparing Republicans or whataboutisms and stuff like that. I'm simply trying to get a view on the Democrats, their policies, their opinions, their views, and how they project it, because I believe them to be extremely hypocritical, and I think they say whatever supporters want to hear in order to keep them there and to make them think that they are the righteous side. So let's start with the fact that they say they're America first. Okay, you can't be America first and root for open borders and root for illegals to have access to the programs that are in place for Americans that we have in this country that need them. You can't be pushing for that to be taken away from actual Americans if you're America first. And then when you have ICE going into these cities for immigration purposes, the Democratic Party tries to stop them. So again, how is that America first? Then they claim to be the people that want you to be financially stable. So again, letting illegals take that money from you in those form of those programs certainly isn't going to help us financially and economically. Not to mention the amount of fraud that is hidden, ignored, and partaken in that they're finding with a lot of democratic situations. So again, talking about how they want a good economy, but they're not doing anything to show that they actually feel that way. Then they want to talk about crime and murder, keeping that down. And again, anytime a government agency is sent into these cities that have incredible amounts of crime, they try to stop it, and they protest, and they tell their constituents to go out and defy the law enforcement agencies that are trying to clean up the cities that they're in. So don't see how they actually want crime and murder to be down based on those reactions. Constantly talking about women and saying that they stand up for women, right? Her body, her choice, all that stuff. But yet they are huge proponents of the trans community letting men into women's bathrooms with our wives and our children, which can be very dangerous. They also don't have a problem with men playing women's sports. Again, taking opportunities away from our daughters and our women in our country. And lastly, most importantly, currently anyways, is the racism accusations. They tell their voters and their supporters over and over again that the Republicans are the racist people in the country, trying to hold back minorities. Okay, for starters, we all know that the Democrats started the KKK and other hate groups that are out there. Then I believe that they thought that they had this moment of clarity where they said, geez, the minorities, they're not going to like us much if we are associating with these organizations. So let's just make up a swap. We'll call it a party swap, right? So they make up this party swap, and they want you to believe that a whole half of a country that just put their lives on the line, many, many, many thousands died to stop slavery. They want you to believe that those people just suddenly change their mind and that they are in fact the racist ones. And the Democrats that fought to keep slavery, they're the righteous and loving party now. The swap. Such bullshit. That's all that really is. So now we find out in 2026 that Democrats are still funding the very organizations that they started to spread hatred. So again, my main point here is I know a lot of left-leaning liberal people, and I know that they're better than this. I know they're not hypocrites. I know they do care about people. I know they're not racist. I know they do want women to succeed. But they're forced to stand by this party that is out here preaching all this righteousness, but acting to the opposite of it. I feel they have no love for our country. They could give a shit about different races. They could give a shit about women. And quite frankly, they just want power. So they're telling a large portion of this country exactly what they want to hear, and too many people are falling for it. So what I want to see here is some conversation about what I just talked about, those are facts. Maybe a few opinions thrown in, but mostly facts. I want to know how you can support the Democratic Party. I don't want to know why you hate Trump. I know that you're not going to be a Republican again. I know you're not going to cheer for MAGA. I don't expect you to. This almost, to me, feels like another great reason for us to not be confined to two parties, because to have to support one or the other and make people think that you fully support every idea that comes from that side is crazy. We need to have our own free thinking, our own minds, and we need to come together somewhere in the middle here. I just think the Democratic approach is disgusting. They're hypocritical, and I wish they'd go away, to be honest. But we know that's not going to happen, so let's move forward. But tell me why you think I'm right or you don't think I'm right. Everybody be safe.